So, the age of autonomous AI in the workplace? It's not coming, it's already here. But here's the thing, just unleashing these new digital workers into your company isn't the answer. Without a really solid plan, you're basically building on sand. Today, we're going to walk through the blueprint, the essential architecture your company absolutely needs to build a future where AI doesn't just survive, it actually thrives. Let's dive in.
Okay, picture this. You give a construction crew the most advanced tools on the entire planet, but you forget to give them the architectural plans. What do you get? Well, you get chaos, right? Mismatched parts, unstable structures, a project that is guaranteed to fail. This is the exact risk so many businesses are taking with AI right now. So it begs the question, what happens when your new digital workers have no blueprint to follow?
All right, first things first. We need to understand who's actually on this new digital construction crew. And you can forget about those simple automation scripts from a few years ago. We are talking about a totally new class of autonomous digital colleagues.
The term for this is Agentic AI. Now, these aren't just tools that follow a rigid set of instructions. No, they are truly digital actors. They can perceive context, they can make decisions, and they can execute really complex tasks with a high degree of autonomy. And here's the real kicker. They're designed to operate not just in one little department, but across your entire enterprise.
This is a really fundamental shift in how we should think about software. Traditional software, it just follows pre-programmed if this, then that instructions. It's predictable, like a digital laborer. Agentic AI, on the other hand, acts with contextual autonomy. It gets the why behind a task and can adapt on the fly. This is the leap from a digital laborer to a digital thinker.
So, that brings us right back to our construction site. When you unleash these incredibly powerful digital thinkers without a plan, well, you're building without a blueprint. And that, my friends, leads to some very serious problems.
And here's the heart of the problem. Without that solid architectural foundation, these amazing agents don't become an integrated workforce. They just become a bunch of isolated, unscalable experiments. One team builds a cool project, but it can't talk to another team's project. Nothing connects, nothing scales, and all that potential value just gets lost.
So how do we avoid this digital Tower of Babel? Well, we need a blueprint. We've got to focus on the foundation first. So let's look at the 5 architectural cornerstones that every single autonomous enterprise has to have in place. Now, the formal name for this blueprint is enterprise architecture. I know, it might sound a little complex or stuffy, but think of it simply as the master plan for your entire digital structure. It is the absolute backbone you need to support this new agentic era.
So these are the 5 non-negotiable parts of that plan. You've got governance, that sets the rules of the construction site. Then integration patterns, those are the standard ways to connect all the pieces. Security and identity, that's your fence and your keycard system, making sure only the right people, or agents, get into the right areas. Data interoperability is the common language everyone uses. And finally, operational guardrails are the safety protocols to prevent accidents. Every single one is critical. Let's just zoom in on a couple of them.
Let's start with governance. Think of this as your building codes and your city permits. It answers all the critical questions like, what can this AI agent decide on its own? What data is it allowed to see? What actions is it actually authorized to take? Without clear governance, you're basically letting an unsupervised worker operate heavy machinery. It's a recipe for disaster.
Okay, next up is data interoperability. I want you to think of this as the standardized pipes and wiring for your whole building. It makes sure that when one system says customer, every other system understands exactly what that means. This consistency is what allows all your different agents and applications to talk to each other without any confusion. Okay, so with our foundation poured and our blueprint in hand, let's take a look at how these digital workers actually operate inside the walls of a real, live corporate ecosystem.
And look, this isn't some far-off theory. An agent can live and work across all the platforms you're already using. It could trigger a function in AWS, then hop over to Azure to manage a data pipeline, and then finish its job by drafting a report and scheduling a meeting right inside Microsoft 365. It's orchestrating work across your entire digital landscape.
And that right there, that's the whole payoff. With a solid architecture in place, these agents stop being just a collection of isolated tools. They evolve into a coordinated, powerful digital capability, one that's woven right into the fabric of your company's operating model.
So this brings us to the final, and maybe the most critical question. It's a question that every single technology leader should be asking themselves right now. Is your foundation, is it actually ready for this?
So let's put on our CIO hat for a second. The question really isn't if you're going to adopt AI agents. I mean, that's pretty much a given. The real question is whether your company's architectural maturity is ready. Is your foundation strong enough to support a future where these autonomous systems are working side by side with your human teams, safely, securely, and effectively?
So if you take just one thing away today, please let it be this. The goal isn't just to deploy a bunch of AI agents. The real goal is to consciously, deliberately architect the foundations of a truly autonomous enterprise. You have to think like an architect, not just a deployer.
And we'll leave you with this really powerful thought from Mauricio Naranjo Narvaez, whose work inspired this entire explainer. AI may power the future enterprise, but enterprise architecture will determine whether that future is scalable, governed, and sustainable. So the only question left is yours ready?